Hello, today I'd like to discuss the final part in my router cabinet project. This project brings together all the different router paraphernalia I've had in my shop for the last few years that have, as I've been growing, have scattered to wherever I had storage. The final step is to put a drawer in this location for the bits themselves. I have a prototype board here which is 3/4 inch plywood with a piece of whiteboard on the top, and what I'm planning to do is to have a row of 1/2 inch holes, and in the center put 1/4 inch holes so I can use any location for either 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch collet storage. Okay, so the way I'm going to get the columns of holes all perfectly lined up is with a pair of ruler stops that I've made up. And these have been set to the exact location of my clamp guide when I made these holes. So now I've taken two 1-inch spacers and made sure the clamp guide is exactly 1 inch inset from this row. So when I make the next row of holes, they'll be exactly 1 inch in. So with this axis already defined and how I get equal repeatable spacing, the next job is to work on how I get equal spacing and repeatable spacing in this dimension. I think that takes two key requirements. The first is an accurate and repeatable starting point. That's provided by this nut, which will reference against this router bar as I move it up. That gives me a consistent starting point relative to the board each time. And then after I make the first plunge, I'll get the repeatable steps by placing my 1, 2, 3 block in the 1 inch mode and bring it against my stop block. Tighten the stop block down, move, plunge, and then I'll just keep repeating that process all the way down. Okay, so with all of the 1/2 inch holes routed out, it's time to put the 1/4 inch holes directly in the center. I didn't want to use that same methodology with the flat guide. I think I have a better method, which is to use a 1/2 inch collar, which will fit exactly in the 1/2 inch hole and give me a nice, perfectly centered location to drill out the 1/4 inch holes for the thinner shank router bits. The next step in my router bit drawer is to make recesses for some of these boxes that I found that'll hold bearings and other pieces associated with individual router bits. So what I've done is I've made a quick little jig that's a little bit wider than the outline of the boxes, and that offset is the size of the difference between the size of the collar and the router bit that I have installed. I'm going to start by showing, here's the white side inlay kit in its nice little container. A bunch of my roundover bits, and you can see the markings, so it's easy to pick up exactly which one I want to put them back in the right place. Some of my straight cutting bits. A Festool bit to bore holes for in the MFT table. Don't have an 8mm hole yet. Bearings for the rabbiting bit, bunch of my straight cutting solid carbide upcut router bits, lock miter master, and finally my Summerfield door making kit with its extra bearing and a bunch of space balls to make the cabinet panels not rattle back and forth. But I'll be able to easily rearrange all these because once again this is whiteboard, so I can just change and erase any of those markings and rearrange as needed. Thank you.